Health and nutrition is a core pillar for Food Industry Asia, which facilitates a multi-stakeholder regional effort to improve diets and stabilize rates of obesity and chronic disease in Asia. More about FIA's initiatives from Policy Director of FIA, Steven Bartholomeusz.
On one end of the spectrum, we are seeing obesity rates and rates of non-communicable diseases, or NCDs, increasing more rapidly in the Asian region than in any other region in the world. Now, the United States and the UK probably have more obese and overweight people than across Asia, but the rates of increase in Asia are a lot faster for obesity and NCDs than the rest of the world. On the other end of the spectrum, we also have chronic undernutrition. So we still have a lot of people who are undernourished, who don't get the food or the nutrition that they need on a daily basis. So if you take countries like Indonesia or Sri Lanka, the rates of stunting and wasting are actually increasing. So, I mean, they were at a very high rate in the 60s and 70s and perhaps the early 80s. They started to come down and plateau in the late 80s, 90s and early 2000s. But what we are seeing is that the rates of undernutrition are actually going up. And I think from our perspective as an industry association, we have a role to play in also collaborating, working in partnership with governments as well as industry to ensure that we have right policies and regulations. And this means pushing some of our initiatives forward. Front of pack nutrition labeling. Since 2012, Food Industry Asia has been working with our members to actually encourage them to put what we call monochrome guideline daily amounts, or GDA, front of pack labeling on their products. In 2016, we did a subsequent survey and we saw that the levels of awareness of front of pack labeling had increased by over 40%, and the adoption rate of front of pack labeling across Asia had also gone up by 52%. So this is a great result of industry actually voluntarily putting something on a pack. Another great initiative that we've actually been front and center of is encouraging our members to sign pledges on marketing to children. And I think Singapore is one of the best examples of co-regulation, where we actually have the Singapore government, the Health Promotion Board, the food industry, the Advertising Standards Authority of Singapore, as well as several other key stakeholders coming together. Great options, great initiatives where industry has collaborated and worked with regulators to deliver great outcomes. And that's just on the health and nutrition side, right? But if you take, for example, food safety, which is also critical, we've seen some other great initiatives there as well. And again, Food Industry Asia has been at the lead of some of these initiatives. So we worked across Asia in the Greater Mekong sub-region with organizations like the Asian Development Bank to actually enhance food safety standards in some of those markets. The industry is under tremendous pressure at the moment. When governments look at issues like obesity or NCDs or undernutrition, it is the food industry that a lot of the time is sort of front-facing. And that tends to be why I would say that this is a critical time for our industry.